Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Twin Rivers Triangle Environmental Coalition meeting. On behalf of Chasten Gold nonprofit, thank you for joining us. We warmly welcome everyone participating in person, those joining us online, and community members who may watch this recorded presentation later. I will be serving as tonight's facilitator alongside our TAG Grant community engagement representatives and technical advisors. Tonight's meeting is titled Validating Community Voices. This session provides an opportunity to pause, reflect, and review what we have learned together throughout the Coalition series. Over the past several meetings, we have discussed the history of the Twin Rivers Triangle site, common environmental contaminants, environmental sampling and investigation, community rights, risk communication, health resources, cleanup methods, and long-term monitoring. Tonight, however, is not only about reviewing technical information. It is about recognizing and validating the knowledge, concerns, priorities, and lived experiences that community members have contributed throughout this process. Technical reports provide important scientific information, but they do not always tell the complete story of a neighborhood. Residents know how their community has changed. They remember former businesses and land uses. They know where children play, where families work, where water collects after storms, where traffic creates concerns, and how communication reaches or fails to reach the people who live nearby. That knowledge has value. Tonight, we will discuss what residents have taught us, confirm whether we have accurately captured community priorities, and identify what should continue in future environmental engagement efforts. Whether this is your first meeting or you have attended the entire Coalition series, we are sincerely grateful that you are here. Your voice matters, and tonight's meeting is designed to demonstrate that we have been listening. Before we begin tonight's discussion, we would like to introduce Chasten Gold for anyone joining us for the first time. Chasten Gold nonprofit is committed to advancing environmental health, racial equity, housing stability, and community empowerment across Sacramento and surrounding counties. We work in partnership with residents, organizations, and public agencies to amplify local voices, deliver independent technical assistance, and address systemic barriers through direct service and advocacy. Our focus is also to engage and empower impoverished and unhoused veterans, families, and individuals seeking assistance with employment, shelter, and connections to appropriate services within their local communities. Through the Technical Assistance Grant, Chasten Gold helps residents better understand environmental information and become more informed participants in environmental decision-making. We help translate technical reports into plain language, gather community questions, document neighborhood concerns, and create opportunities for residents to speak directly about the issues affecting them. Our role is not to replace regulatory agencies, environmental consultants, property owners, or healthcare professionals. Instead, we serve as an independent community resource. We work to help ensure that environmental information is understandable and that residents have meaningful opportunities to participate. At the heart of the Technical Assistance Grant is a simple truth. Communities deserve to be heard, informed, and empowered. Through this grant, we provide trusted support to help residents better understand environmental issues, participate in decision-making, and advocate for lasting change. Whether someone is navigating a complex cleanup process or seeking to protect their neighborhood, we are here to help ensure that community voices are amplified and supported by technical guidance and resources. Together, we are not simply addressing contamination. We are building pathways toward environmental justice, transparency, accountability, and a healthier future for all. Validating community voices means more than allowing residents to speak during a meeting. It means listening carefully. It means accurately documenting what residents say. It means identifying recurring concerns. It means acknowledging community knowledge as valuable information. It also means reporting back to residents so they can confirm whether their concerns were understood correctly. Tonight's meeting is part of that accountability. We will present the themes we heard throughout the coalition series and ask you directly whether those themes accurately reflect your priorities. Let us review tonight's agenda. First, we will summarize what has been learned throughout the coalition series. Second, we will review themes and concerns that residents consistently raised during previous meetings. Third, our research discussion will focus on why community knowledge matters in environmental decision-making. Fourth, we will ask whether we have captured community concerns correctly. We will then conduct a 10 to 15-minute breakout session in 4 groups. Each group will discuss what was most surprising, what information participants will share with friends and family, and what future coalition meetings should include. After the breakout session, our mediator will read responses from 2 groups aloud. We will then discuss the most valuable lessons from the coalition series and answer community questions, including whether engagement can continue after these meetings end. Please feel welcome to take notes and write down questions throughout the presentation. Before reviewing the coalition series, let us briefly revisit the Twin Rivers Triangle site and the purpose of the Technical Assistance Grant. The Twin Rivers Triangle project site is located in Sacramento, California. The Technical Assistance Grant Program provides funding to eligible communities so they may hire independent technical advisors. The goal is to help communities understand technical environmental information and become more informed and involved in cleanup sites and response actions. Response actions include activities performed to investigate, control, remove, treat, contain, or otherwise address an actual or potential release of contamination at a property under regulatory oversight. The Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency, commonly referred to as SHRA, purchased the Triangle site in July 2011. The property was acquired with the intention of transferring the light rail station site to Sacramento Regional Transit for construction of a light rail station and redeveloping the Triangle housing site with residential units and possibly ground floor retail space. Cleanup addressing heavy metal impacts in near-surface soils was completed for the light rail site in 2023. Further environmental assessment and subsequent cleanup activities for the Triangle housing site were planned for the 2025 to 2026 period. The TAG program gives residents access to independent technical assistance so they do not have to navigate this process alone. It also creates a structured opportunity for community concerns to be gathered, discussed, and elevated. We will now begin our review of what has been learned so far. Each coalition meeting was designed to build on the meeting before it. We began with the history of the site and surrounding neighborhood. We then discussed environmental contaminants and exposure pathways. From there, we learned how environmental investigations and sampling are conducted. We reviewed community rights and public participation. We discussed risk communication, protective behaviors, and available health resources. Most recently, we examined cleanup methods, what remediation may look like, and why long-term monitoring may continue after construction is completed. Together, these topics create a foundation for informed community participation. The first topic listed is site history. We learned that current site conditions cannot always be understood by looking only at what exists today. Historical businesses, industrial activities, storage practices, transportation patterns, dumping, spills, and other environmental standards may all help explain how contamination occurred. The second topic is environmental contaminants. We learned that a contaminant is a substance found where it should not be or at a concentration that may require evaluation. Examples may include heavy metals, petroleum products, solvents, pesticides, volatile organic compounds, and other industrial chemicals. We also learned that the presence of a contaminant does not by itself answer every health question. Investigators must consider concentration, location, movement, access, and potential exposure pathways. The third topic is investigation methods. We learned that environmental professionals review site history, collect samples, analyze laboratory data, prepare technical reports, and identify remaining data gaps. Environmental investigations often occur in phases because each round of results may help guide the next phase. The fourth topic is sampling. We discussed soil sampling, groundwater sampling, soil vapor testing, air monitoring, and laboratory analysis. Sampling helps answer three basic questions. What is present? Where is it located? How much is there? The fifth topic is community rights. We discussed public comment, access to environmental records, community input opportunities, and the importance of asking specific and informed questions. We learned that residents do not need to be scientists or attorneys to provide meaningful comments. The sixth topic is risk communication. We learned that environmental risk depends on both contamination and exposure. Risk communication should explain what is known, what remains uncertain, what actions are being taken, and what residents can reasonably do to protect themselves. The seventh topic is cleanup planning. We discussed soil excavation, capping, groundwater treatment, vapor mitigation, institutional controls, dust suppression, air monitoring, truck routes, and long-term oversight. Every topic has helped bow toward informed and meaningful community participation. As we reflect on these topics, it is important to recognize that technical knowledge becomes more useful when residents can apply it. A sampling table is more useful when residents understand what the numbers mean. A cleanup schedule is more useful when families understand how it may affect traffic, noise, and daily routines. A risk statement is more useful when it explains exposure pathways and practical protective actions. A public comment period is more meaningful when residents receive enough time and information to participate. The goal of this series has therefore not been to turn every resident into an environmental scientist. The goal has been to give community members enough understanding to ask informed questions, evaluate information, identify concerns, and participate with confidence. We will now review the recurring themes we heard during previous coalition meetings. A theme is a concern, idea, or priority that appeared repeatedly across different conversations. Identifying themes helps us understand what matters most to residents. It also allows Chasten Gold, technical advisors, project representatives, and public agencies to improve future communication and engagement. The first recurring theme was children's health. Parents, caregivers, and residents repeatedly asked how environmental conditions could affect children. Residents wanted information about outdoor play, soil contact, dust, school routes, parks, hand washing, air monitoring, and practical protective behaviors. This concern is understandable because children may interact with the environment differently from adults. They often play closer to the ground, touch soil and outdoor surfaces, and place their hands or objects in their mouths. The second theme was neighborhood transparency. Residents wanted environmental information to be easy to find and easy to understand. They asked for sampling maps, plain language summaries, clear explanations of laboratory results, and honest descriptions of what remains uncertain. Transparency also means explaining why decisions were made and how community comments were considered. The third theme was timely communication. Residents consistently said they wanted advance notice before sampling, construction, cleanup, truck activity, road changes, or other major field work. They also wanted progress updates even when no final decision had been made. A short update explaining that a report remains under review may be more helpful than silence. The fourth theme was redevelopment. Community members wanted to understand how environmental cleanup connects to future housing, retail, transit, and neighborhood development. Residents asked whether the property would be safe for its planned use, whether long-term controls would remain, and how future residents would be informed. The fifth theme was environmental justice. Residents recognized that low-income and historically marginalized neighborhoods often carry a disproportionate burden of industrial activity, contaminated properties, poor air quality, and delayed investment. Environmental justice means ensuring that every community receives meaningful protection, timely information, access to decision-making, and a fair opportunity to shape its future. These shared priorities should guide future engagement. Tonight's research topic is why community knowledge matters in environmental decision-making. Researchers and environmental practitioners have found that local residents often provide valuable historical information that may not appear in official records. Community members may remember former businesses. They may know where equipment was stored. They may remember flooding, odors, smoke, dust, dumping activities, fires, spills, truck routes, or unusual changes in the land. They may also remember when a property was vacant, when children played there, or when buildings were demolished. Official records are important, but they can be incomplete. A permit may show that a business operated at a property, but it may not show exactly where material was stored. An aerial photograph may show a building, but it may not explain what residents observed happening behind that building. A laboratory report may identify contamination, but it may not explain how families use the surrounding neighborhood. Community knowledge helps add that context. Combining technical science with lived experience can create stronger environmental decision-making. Technical science provides laboratory data, maps, calculations, and professional analysis. Lived experience provides neighborhood history, daily observations, cultural context, and an understanding of local priorities. The strongest decisions consider both. Tonight's research topic is why community knowledge matters in environmental decision-making. Researchers and environmental practitioners have found that local residents often provide valuable historical information that may not appear in official records. Community members may remember former businesses. They may know where equipment was stored. They may remember flooding, odors, smoke, dust, dumping activities, fires, spills, truck routes, or unusual changes in the land. They may also remember when a property was vacant, when children played there, or when buildings were demolished. Official records are important, but they can be incomplete. A permit may show that a business operated at a property, but it may not show exactly where materials were stored. An aerial photograph may show a building, but it may not explain what residents observed happening behind that building. A laboratory report may identify contamination, but it may not explain how families use the surrounding neighborhood. Community knowledge helps add that context. Combining technical science with lived experience can create stronger environmental decision making. Technical science provides laboratory data, maps, calculations, and professional analysis. Lived experience provides neighborhood history, daily observations, cultural context, and an understanding of local priorities. The strongest decisions consider both. We will now ask one of the most important questions in this coalition series. Did we capture your concerns correctly? Based on previous meetings, we identified children's health, transparency, timely communication, redevelopment, and environmental justice as major community priorities. We also heard concerns about language access, technical terminology, sampling locations, air monitoring, dust, traffic, long-term monitoring, and continued engagement. We now invite residents to confirm, correct, or add to that summary. Please remember that validation includes the opportunity to say, yes, that accurately reflects my concern. It is partly correct, but something is missing. That is not how I would describe the issue. My concern has changed after learning more. All of those responses are valuable. We will now transition into tonight's breakout session. We will divide participants into 4 groups. For those joining online, we will use virtual breakout rooms when possible. Participants joining by telephone or anyone unable to enter a breakout room may remain in the main meeting with a facilitator. Each group will answer 3 questions. What surprised you most during this coalition? What information will you share with friends or family? What should future coalition meetings include? Please select 1 spokesperson and 1 note taker. You will have approximately 10 to 15 minutes to discuss the questions. Please be specific. For example, rather than simply saying more information, identify whether you want more maps, health resources, cleanup updates, youth education, environmental reports, videos, agency presentations, or opportunities for resident leadership. When we return, our mediator will read responses from 2 groups aloud. Responses from all 4 groups will be documented as part of the community engagement record. We will now begin the breakout session. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for participating in the breakout discussion. We will now hear two group reports. Group 1 said the most surprising lesson was that the presence of contamination does not automatically mean that every nearby resident is being exposed. The group learned that environmental risk depends on several factors, including the type and concentration of a contaminant, where it is located, how people may contact it, how often exposure occurs, and how long it may continue. The group said it plans to share practical protective behaviors with friends and family, including washing hands after outdoor activity, removing shoes before entering the home, controlling indoor dust, washing produce, and following construction notices. For future coalition meetings, Group 1 recommended more plain language explanations of sampling results, color-coded maps showing investigation and cleanup areas, dedicated information for parents and caregivers, updates about air monitoring and dust control, opportunities for residents to ask questions directly to technical advisors. Thank you, Group 1. Group 2 said the most surprising lesson was how many steps occur between collecting an environmental sample and making a cleanup decision. The group discussed laboratory analysis, data review, technical reports, regulatory review, additional sampling, cleanup planning, and long-term monitoring. Participants said they would share with friends and family that environmental investigations often occur in phases and that additional sampling does not always mean the previous work failed. It may mean that new data identified a question requiring further study. For future coalition meetings, Group 2 recommended regular updates after the current series ends, more youth and family environmental health education, presentations about redevelopment and housing, clear explanations of long-term monitoring, community tours or visual demonstrations when safe and appropriate, opportunities for residents to help select future meeting topics. Thank you. Group 2. Both groups identified an important outcome of this coalition series. Residents now have information they can share with others. Environmental knowledge becomes more powerful when it moves beyond this meeting and reaches families, neighbors, youth, faith communities, tenant groups, schools, and local organizations. The groups also made clear that residents want continued engagement. They want information that is visual, practical, timely, and connected to the future of the neighborhood. Those recommendations will be documented. We will now open the floor for another reflection question. What has been the most valuable thing you have learned throughout this coalition series? There is no single correct answer. One resident may value learning how sampling works. Another may value understanding public comment rights. Another may value protective behaviors or information about cleanup. Please feel welcome to respond in person through the online comment section or by email after tonight's meeting. We received another important community question. Will community engagement continue after these meetings end? Community engagement should not be limited to one coalition series. The conclusion of a scheduled meeting series does not mean that environmental questions, cleanup activities, redevelopment decisions, monitoring responsibilities, or community concerns automatically end. The specific forms of engagement available after the tag meeting series may depend on the project timeline, available funding, agency activities, public comment periods, and future community partnerships. However, residents may continue participating in several ways. Community members may review public notices and environmental records. Residents may submit questions and comments to the responsible agencies and project contacts. They may attend future public meetings, workshops, hearings, or community events. They may continue communicating with Chasten Gold through support at chastengold.org. Residents may also remain connected through community organizations, tenant associations, neighborhood groups, schools, faith communities, and local advocacy networks. Chasten Gold will continue to document questions and share available resources within the limits of the grant period and organizational capacity. It is also important to build community systems that do not depend on one grant. Residents can exchange contact information, identify volunteer leaders, share updates with neighbors, and create a simple process for tracking future notices and documents. Sustainability means that community knowledge and participation continue even when a particular funding period ends. This coalition is meaningful for several reasons. First, it helps address environmental inequities. Many Sacramento neighborhoods, particularly low-income and historically marginalized communities, experience greater exposure to pollution, contaminated properties, industrial activities, and poor environmental conditions. The coalition seeks to close these gaps and advocate for cleaner and safer environments. Second, the coalition empowers community voices. Residents deserve a seat at the table when decisions are made about their health, land, housing, neighborhood, and future. This coalition helps ensure that communities are heard, informed, and involved in environmental decision-making. Third, the coalition promotes accountability and action. By bringing together residents, advocates, experts, organizations, and local leaders, the coalition can ask important questions, request clearer information, identify community priorities, and support solutions that protect public health and the environment. Cleanup should not only be technically effective, it should also be transparent, responsibly implemented, and responsive to the needs of the surrounding community. There are several ways residents can support this coalition. You can participate in person or through the live online question and answer section. You may submit comments before or after meetings. You can volunteer to support outreach, environmental education, community surveys, meeting activities, or information distribution. You may also submit scientific research, neighborhood observations, lived experiences, and questions for our technical advisors. Questions and information may be sent to support@chastengold.org. You can also share coalition materials with neighbors, schools, churches, tenant groups, local organizations, businesses, and other trusted community networks. Participation does not require a scientific degree or professional title. Community knowledge, observation, and lived experience are meaningful contributions. Volunteers and supporters may be recognized through Chasten Gold's website and annual report. They may receive invitations to annual fundraising events and other community activities. More importantly, volunteers become part of a committed group working toward a brighter and healthier future. Volunteers may help distribute environmental information, assist at community meetings, support youth education, collect neighborhood feedback, connect residents with resources, or help ensure that information reaches people who may not use online platforms. Every contribution of time, knowledge, outreach, or support strengthens the coalition. We welcome continued communication after tonight's meeting. Questions, comments, scientific research, community observations, or requests for clarification may be emailed to support@chastengold.org. Residents may also visit www.chastengold.org. please include Twin Rivers Triangle TARGA in the email subject line whenever possible so the message can be directed to the appropriate team member. When submitting a cleanup-related question, it may be helpful to identify the specific location, concern, slide, environmental document, or type of activity involved. For example, you might write Twin Rivers Triangle TAG, question about proposed truck routes, or Twin Rivers Triangle TAJ, question about air monitoring. Clear subject lines help the team organize and respond to community inquiries. As we conclude tonight's meeting, we would like to thank everyone who joined us in person and online. Thank you for participating throughout the Coalition series. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for sharing neighborhood history. Thank you for identifying concerns about children, families, health, redevelopment, transparency, communication, cleanup, and long-term accountability. Thank you for helping us understand what matters most to the Twin Rivers community. Tonight, we reviewed what has been learned throughout the Coalition series. We discussed site history, environmental contaminants, investigation methods, sampling, community rights, risk communication, cleanup planning, and long-term monitoring. We also reviewed the recurring priorities residents have shared. Those priorities include children's and family health, protection of sensitive populations, understandable information, timely communication, environmental justice, redevelopment without displacement, long-term accountability, trust, and continued participation. Our research discussion emphasized that technical science and lived experience should work together. Scientific data tell us what was detected, where it was found, and how conditions may be evaluated. Community knowledge helps explain neighborhood history, daily use, local concerns, and what residents need to feel protected and respected. The central message from tonight's meeting is this: community voices are not an interruption to the environmental process. They are an essential source of knowledge, accountability, and direction. Please continue submitting questions, comments, and concerns to support@chastengold.org. Even as this coalition series moves toward its final stages, the knowledge developed here can continue through resident leadership, public participation, shared resources, and ongoing communication. On behalf of Chasten Gold nonprofit, our TAG grant community engagement representatives, technical advisors, volunteers, and community partners, thank you for being part of tonight's Twin Rivers Triangle Environmental Coalition meeting. Please travel home safely, take care of yourselves and one another, and continue using your voice to help build a healthier, safer, and more just community. Thank you, Sacramento.